Okay. All right. My name's Abby Wilson. I am a member of the 14th Ward Independent Democratic Club, and I'm here with Sam Hensgricko, the chair of the 14th Ward Democratic Committee, and a member of the club as well, to just talk about voting by mail this year in 2020. Our most critical priority is the primary, but this may have implications for the general election as well. So Sam's going to help us understand some of the basics and most importantly the urgency about as many of us voting by mail as possible. Sam, anything before we dive in?
Hi everybody, it's Sam Hensgricko here. Just one reminder for everybody that when you're voting either absentee or mail-in, that it's a two-step process. That the first thing you have to do is you have to apply for the ballot, and then you have to vote and send the ballot back in. So I think that's always important to sort of reemphasize that right at the beginning. So
nice, yes. So apply, and then you'll get the ballot, and then you'll vote. Also, as a reminder for everyone, we are on votespa.com. So I'm going to circle that. It's up here. That is the website that you should use. Okay, so the first piece of information you see when you get to the homepage here is that the primary date has moved to June 2nd. Important reminder. That also includes a delay of the deadline for registering to vote, and as well as getting your vote by mail ballot in. Is that right, Sam?
That's correct.
Okay.
I believe the date for the register now is, last day to register is May 18th, which I believe is 15 days before the election. And the last day to submit the application for the mail-in or absentee ballot is May 28th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. Yep. So I'm here on the page. Last day to register, May 18th, 2020. And the last day to submit your ballot is, it was just, I think it's on this last page. Mail-in ballot applications will be accepted through Tuesday, May 26th. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's dive in, Sam, to mail-in versus absentee ballot. I think that's probably the critical question here, right? So yeah. I'm going under voting in PA, first-time voters, voting at a polling place. Let's do mail-in and absentee ballot.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So just walk us through what I'm looking at.
So first, I think it's important to clarify the difference between absentee voting and mail-in voting. In years past, we had absentee voting, and you're able to apply for an absentee ballot if you were going to be out of the municipality, if you were ill or disabled. Now, you can still do that this year, but in the past year, the new legislation was put into effect that expanded voting rights to include mail-in ballots. Now, mail-in ballots are also being called no excuse voting or no excuse ballot. So the question is, well, why didn't we just get rid of absentee ballot and just let everybody vote in mail-in ballot if you don't need an excuse? And the reason is absentee ballots, absentee voting is a right guaranteed by the Pennsylvania Constitution. To change the Constitution, you have to spend a couple years and a referendum to change it. The legislature decided they wanted to expand the rights, and so they came up with this mail-in ballots. So if you are going to be out of the municipality, or if you're ill, or if you're disabled, you must file for an absentee ballot. Everybody else can file for request a mail-in ballot. And on the website, we're going to walk you through. Abby's going to walk you through. You see both mail-in and absentee ballots. So you want to.
So let's start with absentee. At least that's the concept that people are probably most familiar with. And again, as a reminder, not everyone is eligible for this specific ballot called an absentee ballot. Yep. Okay. So how do I apply? All right. Should we go for it?
Yep. To do it.
All right. Let's apply for an absentee ballot. Okay, I've been taken to a new website, just FYI everybody, so don't be surprised. I've got to let the state know that I'm not a robot, and let's begin my application. Okay, so it's going to start here with a series of questions. Am I a military or overseas civilian absentee voter? No, I am not. Okay, are you applying for a ballot because you will be absent from your municipality for the upcoming election? For me personally, no, I know that is not true. Are you applying for a ballot for the upcoming election because you have an illness or physical disability? No, I do not. Okay, interesting. So nice thing here, the website has automatically shifted me to mail-in. So they've said, please click continue to complete your online mail-in application. All right. So even if I'm not technically eligible for absentee, that just means I vote by mail. Seems pretty simple. Okay. All right. Now, here is where I start entering information to apply for a ballot. Now, Sam, I've already requested my mail-in ballot. So should I go ahead and do this?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead for, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Put your name, yeah.
Okay. So Margaret. So this is the name on my this is my legal name, so that's important. Last name, okay. Suffix, don't need to worry about that. Okay, date of birth.
You don't need to tell us that if you don't have it.
I'm 40 and proud of it. Living the dream, everyone. Okay, so November 9th, also the date the Berlin Wall fell. Okay, so when I did this, everyone, I did include my phone number and email, and it was actually quite helpful because I received information confirming that they had received my application. But I'm not going to include that here. So then that is optional. So I could just keep going. Now at this point, I'm being asked to enter my either my PA driver's license or my pen.id number. Again, I'm not going to do that here, but Sam, we did get some clarification about this issue. Isn't that right?
That's correct. So if you don't have a PA driver's license or a pen.id number, you cannot apply for the ballot online. You'll need to apply by mail. And I believe you can download a form on the Allegheny County Election Department website for mail-in ballots.
Mm-hmm. And so if you don't have a Pennsylvania driver's license and you don't have or a pen.id, you can still vote by mail, but you just need to apply with a paper application to vote by mail. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So let's do apply to vote by mail, Allegheny County. Okay. Mail-in and absentee. Oh, interesting. It's taking me back to votespa.com. That's fine. Absentee, mail-in. Let's check out mail-in ballots here. You can apply online, but here, to the point Sam just made, you have this other option of applying for a mail-in ballot by mail. You will need to print it, so bear that in mind. And you're going to be sending that to the county election office. So the mail-in application, I'm going to open it up here. This is what it looks like. This is a PDF. I'm being asked to print my name, same information. I have lived at this address, and you'll see here on this identification element over here, if you do not have a pen.id number, please provide the last 4 digits of your social security number. So that should be sufficient. There is, if you scroll down, there is the option of for necessary identification. So that's what I was looking for. Okay, so mail-in ballot. If you apply by mail, you don't have a Pennsylvania driver's license or pen.id, you're going to want to enter the last 4 digits of your social security number. Otherwise, do it online. Okay, sounds good. So anything else you want to add here?
Once you continue on through, and
It's
you're
not
going to,
allowing me. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It's not allowing me to
Right.
continue without entering my driver's license number, but yeah.
Once you go through, you're going to have at the end, once you submit it, you will then get what's called a voter application number. And you will then be able to track your application through the process when it's been mailed to you, and I think you'll be able to do that on this website once you get that voter number. And I have applied, and my voter number was in the 228,000 range. So I don't know if that's statewide or countywide. I believe that has to be more. I believe that's statewide, probably.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting. Okay. All right. That's good to know. And I also applied for my mail-in ballot online, and I also received a voter number. I don't have that number in front of me right now, but I got an email confirming that they had received it, and I felt good knowing that there was a record of that. So that was pretty easy. And Sam, do we have a time frame for when ballots are going to start to be mailed out?
I believe they are processing those now.
Okay.
The ballots have been, all the challenges to the ballots have been finalized. So the election department, Allegheny County election department, all those races have been, the decisions have been finalized, the ballots ready. I believe they were looking to send them out as of April 1st. So
okay,
that should be happening soon.
Okay.
So we might want to go back up and I think you went through with started through mail-in ballots. Let's just do one through absentee and just show everybody what happens if you hit absentee ballots.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Is that what we did?
Well, we did, but the nice thing was that it took us over to mail-in because of how I answered the questions.
Right.
So if we wanted to apply for an absentee ballot, which again, you don't have to do online, you could do it by mail. You could also request one in person. Same thing with mail-in. However, just be aware that there are limitations on sort of foot traffic, just given the coronavirus, and we want to make sure everyone stays safe. Okay, so do you want me to apply online?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
still not a robot. Okay. And yeah, and these are the same questions, right, Sam? Either way, when you click through, you're going to be asked the same questions.
Yeah, you'll get the same questions, and what happens if you press no on the absentee there, and then if you press yes this time, if you're out of then what happens down at the bottom? Then it tells you that you've been now applied for an absentee application. So you get directed to the same, regardless of your hitting mail-in or absentee, you're getting directed to the same web page, the same questions, and it's just going to categorize your application as either absentee or mail-in. You'll do the same process given the information, and you get the same ballot. So
that's great. So people really don't need to worry about which one they qualify for. Just answer the questions and it'll take you to the right place.
That's correct.
Nice. That's great. Okay. Well, I think those are the main points, right, Sam?
But one other thing, just I think folks should be aware of regarding returning your ballot, because that has changed this year. In past years, if you had received an absentee ballot and you forgot to return the ballot to the election department, you could go to your polling place on election day.
That's right.
And still vote. That has changed. And the main reason for that is because you can return your absentee ballot or mail-in ballot up until 8 o'clock on the day of the election. So if you wake up on election day, realize you haven't returned your ballot, what you'll need to do is take it downtown to the election department and hand it in. If you go to your polling place, they will not take it at your polling place. They'll give you a provisional ballot if you want to vote provisionally, but that won't be counted unless it falls into the need to be counted under the provisional balloting rules. So I think that's an important change for everybody to be aware of.
So if you forget to mail in your ballot, you cannot go to the polling place and vote. You should take the ballot to the county elections office. Now, could I go to my polling place and vote in person and just discard the ballot? No.
You will only be given a provisional ballot.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
You'll be given a provisional.
Okay. June 2nd permit. Okay, great. Okay.
And there are certain rules under which provisional ballots get counted. And so the better practice is to make sure that the election department gets it before 8 p.m. on election day.
Okay. So polls close at 8 p.m. on June 2nd.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, what else, Sam? What about college students?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question, because a lot of folks, college students who have applied now to receive ballots, and now are not going to be in college or at that physical location. They need to either contact the election department and try to get that redirected. I don't believe it'll allow you to reapply for a ballot. And you need to have that, and or have your university or college administrators make sure that they are forwarding your mail. So, I mean, I think the biggest, most important piece of advice is to apply early for your absentee ballot. There are new machines this year. There are new laws regarding voting this year, and we have the virus and the change of election day. So there's a lot of stress being placed on local election departments. And so it's probably the best practice is to apply early, apply online if you can, get your ballot and return your ballot as quickly as possible.
Okay. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen just so I can make these reminders a little bigger. Stop, mute, pin. Yeah, I want to pin my video. Okay. All right. So number one, we want people to apply now to vote by mail. Sooner the better. May 18th, this is the deadline for registering to vote. Sam, is that right?
May 18th is the last day to vote for, yes, to register to vote.
Okay. May 26th is when you've got to get your ballots in. Tuesday, May 26th. And as a reminder, that's 10 days before the election, right, Sam?
That's correct.
Okay. And the primary is June 2nd. And polls close at 8 p.m. on June 2nd. All right. Did I miss any big ones?
No, I think we got all the big ones. There's one other little minor thing, one other question I remembered on the application that you'll be asked is whether or not you want an application, an absentee ballot application sent to you.
That's right.
For every election. So if there's a box there, if you want to continue, if you want to do that, you can check that off, and they'll continue to send you absentee ballot applications.
That's great. That's great. Good point. So, okay. And I think we did this yesterday, but maybe I
Oh.
didn't fill in the whole questionnaire. But basically at the end, they'll ask you if you'd like to do this for every election.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and I'm not so sure that I would feel comfortable for myself doing that, mainly because I'm not so sure I remember the next election that I had asked for an absentee ballot.
Mhm.
And if I hadn't asked for it and it came in and I didn't process it and I show up to vote that day at the polling place, you know, I might be told I can't vote. So if you definitely, I mean, I think we'll revisit all this come the general election and see how things went. And but it's something to consider.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sam, thank you
Thank
very much for your time.
thank
And
you.
everyone, as a reminder, we are all the information you need about everything we've just discussed is on votespa.com. You can apply and answer a lot of these questions there. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.